Not for an enemy. Not for a stranger. But for a twin sister. She lay unconscious beneath the soil, silent, betrayed, buried by envy. This was not a battle of swords or land. This was jealousy in its purest form. A sister ready to erase blood ties just to steal a future that was never hers. She believed the earth would swallow her sin. But destiny was awake. And what followed would shake the village to its roots. In the ancient Igbo village of Abio, where moonlight rested gently on rooftops like a blessing from the ancestors, strange signs appeared one quiet evening. A restless wind swept through Mama Ama's compound. Women returning from the stream paused uneasily. Goats bleated without reason. The great Irako tree behind the hut groaned as if something old had stirred. That night, Ama, the gentle, soft-spoken wife of Okeke the hunter, went into labor. Midwives rushed in with steaming water and sacred herbs. When the first child emerged, every lamp in the hut flickered. The baby girl lay calm and quiet, her eyes peaceful like a river at dawn. "She comes with peace," the eldest midwife whispered. They named her Sarah. Moments later, the lanterns shook again, this time violently. A sudden cold breeze rushed through the hut. The second baby arrived screaming, fists clenched, eyes blazing with fire, as though she had entered the world already angry. The midwife stepped back, shaken. "This one came fighting," she muttered. They named her Simi. 2 identical faces. 2 opposing spirits. That night, a rare second moon appeared in the sky, an omen the elders later whispered about. Twins born under the second moon will contend for one destiny, they said. Only one will shine. But no one truly understood the warning then. As the girls grew, their differences sharpened. Sarah moved gently through life, helping before being asked, singing while she worked, her kindness flowing effortlessly. Simi, however, carried restlessness in her steps. She craved attention, dominance, and praise. Whenever Sarah was admired, Simi's heart tightened. Whenever Sarah smiled, Simi's joy dimmed. The villagers murmured, "Where light shines, shadow always follows." Amma noticed something unsettling. Some days, Simi's eyes glowed with a strange ancient fire. Other days, she whispered to herself behind the hut, laughing at nothing. Amma prayed fiercely for her daughter. She used protective herbs, tied sacred threads, and offered sacrifices at the shrine. But envy, once rooted, grows teeth. Years passed until one bright market day, a royal procession entered Abio. At its center rode Prince Daika, noble, calm, and observant. Though he came searching for skilled palm wine tappers and herbalists, fate led his eyes to Sarah. She dropped her firewood when she saw the horses. The prince rushed to help her. When she smiled shyly, something settled in his heart. "That is the one," he said. By evening, the village buzzed. Celebration spread. Amma danced with joy. Elders smiled. Only Simi stood silent in the doorway, fists clenched, jaw tight. When she overheard the praise, something inside her snapped. "I want to marry the prince," she demanded of her mother. Amma stared at her in disbelief. "He chose your sister. You should rejoice for her." Simi then turned to Sarah herself and made her request. "Let me take your place." Sarah refused calmly. Simi walked away, but her heart burned. "If I cannot take the destiny," she whispered, "I will destroy it." At dawn, Sarah went alone to the river to cleanse herself, a tradition for betrothed maidens. She did not know she was being followed. Simi struck her from behind. The clay bowl cracked. Sarah fell. Without hesitation, Simi dragged her body deep into the forest and buried her beneath trembling hands. She walked away believing the light was finally extinguished. But she had been seen. A young palm wine tapper witnessed everything from the treetops. He dug Sarah out with bleeding hands and carried her to Mama An, a feared healer. "The innocent do not die easily," the healer said. "Light cannot be buried." Sarah lived. Back in the village, Simi disguised herself as Sarah, copying her voice, walk, and smile. But a mother's heart sensed the lie. When Sarah did not return, the village searched. Rumors spread. The prince arrived to confusion instead of celebration. That night, guilt began haunting Simi. Whispers rose from the ground. Reflections changed. Fear crept into her bones. Meanwhile, Sarah healed. On the wedding day, as drums thundered and the palace filled with people, Simi stepped forward as the bride. Then, silence. The drums stopped. The wind turned cold. From the village gate, Sarah appeared, alive, radiant, protected by ancestral power. The truth exploded into daylight. Simi collapsed, screaming, confessing. Justice followed swiftly. The elders declared her crime an abomination. She was banished to the evil forest, never to return. Sarah married Prince Daika not with pride, but humility. Her story became a warning told to generations. You can bury a person, but you cannot bury destiny. And in quiet forests, some say a voice still cries. The voice of envy, wandering without rest. Because destiny does not answer regret. It only watches. The end.